this is my introduction to my series reading vlog, which has taken me now weeks to film, but it is complete. I have just finished the last book and filmed the wrap up now. So I am one of those, if I hear something about a series that sounds interesting, I will add the entire series to my TBR without having read the first one. And it's getting a little bit out of hand. So I have a lot of books that are the first in series, and I plucked about half a dozen and I settled on 3 to read for this vlog. And it has been such a good time. I have really had quite different experiences from each book, I have to say. They were all very, very different, which is why it has been quite so fun. So I'm going to stop warbling and let's jump in, where I start with The Cruel Prince. So I picked this up the other day and I read the first 20 pages, so I just thought, let's continue with this for now. It says, one terrible morning, Jude and her sisters see their parents murdered. The fearsome assassin abducts all 3 girls to the fairy court, where Jude soon realises that to survive, she needs to be as cunning and deceitful as the Fae themselves. But the stairway to power is fraught with shadows and betrayal, and looming over all is the arrogant and charismatic Prince Cardan. Now, in the first 20 pages, we have seen the parents get murdered, we've seen the girls get abducted, and they are now attending this fairy court where they kind of have to prove themselves that they're able to fit in, either through, obviously, then they can't do fairy things, but maybe their strength or a particular talent. And at the moment there's sort of this inner battle with themselves of holding on to their humanity but also fitting in. And you've got one of the sisters that's completely rebelling and she doesn't want anything to do with the fairy world, and then you've got at least one of the others that's like, well, look, I'm here, let's make the most of it. So this has been so hyped on BookTube, but I have heard mixed things, so I'm intrigued to see what I think. So I'm going to jump back into this. So I'm going to level with you. I'm a little obsessed. And I mean, last time I picked this up, I binged it until about 50% obsessed. I'm totally invested. And if this continues, I will certainly be continuing this series. Jude's kick-ass. A couple of the other characters are absolute not very nice words. But I'm loving this. This is the underdog coming forward and going, nah, I'm not having this. I'm going to be important. I'm going to be just as good as you. And you know what? I'm here for it. So I'm finally going back to The Cruel Prince. I read, I think, 1 or 2 chapters only the other day at work, and I cannot believe the drama in this now. Nor can I believe that I'm enjoying it so much. But yeah, I'm very keen to finish it and see what happens. I've just finished The Cruel Prince. I really enjoyed that. I'm giving that 4 out of 5 stars. I did not expect what happened to happen. I just got totally into that. And I need to know what happens next. Would recommend. I've heard such mixed reviews, but you know what? I really enjoyed that. So yeah, definitely a series I'm going to continue. So we're going to start the next book that's the first in the series, and I've decided to go for Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I am very intimidated by this because I've heard wonderful things about the whole series, but I think there's quite a few books in this series, so it's going to be a big commitment if I read it and love it. It says, meet Selena Sardothian, beautiful, deadly, destined for greatness. In the dark, filthy salt mines of Endovia, An 18-year-old girl is serving a life sentence. She's a trained assassin, the best of her kind, but she made a fatal mistake. She got caught. Young Captain Westfall offers her a deal, her freedom in return for one huge sacrifice. Selena must represent the prince in a to-the-death tournament, fighting the most gifted thieves and assassins in the land. Live or die, Selena will be free. Win or lose, she's about to discover her true destiny. But will her assassin's heart be melted? It does sound really good. It does. So I'm quite excited to get into this. So I'll read a little bit and then I'll catch up with you after. So I read the first 5 pages of Throne of Glass last night and really enjoyed it. I didn't catch up with you then because the other half came home and obviously he's been away for a while and he just completely crashed out on the sofa. He was snoring within minutes after having eaten dinner and I just woke him up to say let's go to bed at one point. But anyway, I'm enjoying this. So far Selena has been propositioned basically to compete in this sort of like assassin trial, and if she wins basically she's got to be like the royal assassin for so long, and as long as she does that then she'll be free, whereas otherwise she would just stay in this sort of prison camp thing until she dies. I like her. She's a bit kick-ass, no nonsense. I think this is going to be a really fun book, so I'm going to get back into this now and I'll catch up with you when I've read a bit more. So I'm finally going back to Throne of Glass and I'm about to start chapter 7. I am intrigued to see what happens next. I am. My only issue so far compared to The Cruel Prince is when I haven't read this for a couple of days, I've forgotten a bit about it. Whereas with The Cruel Prince, I kept thinking about it. But I'm hoping it's just because I'm not very far into this yet and that's about to change. So I'm going to read a little bit more of this evening and I'll catch up with you later. Hello, gorgeous. You're going to show everyone your nice little bit of groomies because of the hot weather. We had little groomies, didn't we? We had little groomies. Look, he's got his tiger stripes. He's got his little tiger stripes. It's too hot, sweetheart, to play ball. It is. I'm sorry. So I'm continuing with Throne of Glass. I am still really enjoying it. We've got kind of like ghostly vibes going on now, and Selena is just going through and kicking ass through these tournaments. Couple of possible love interests. Is there going to be a love triangle? I'm getting a little bit confuzzled at the moment, but hopefully a little bit further on we'll kind of establish who's maybe more likely to end up with who, if any of them are going to end up together at all. I don't really know. But yeah, there's a lot of action going on for a while, and then there'll be a chapter or two which kind of is really quite chilled and not particularly exciting, and then it just picks up again. So mixed feelings about this, but I am keen to see what happens, so I'm going to crack on. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through this now. I've done really well on my reading front today, actually. I am really enjoying it. There's a lot going on. There's just like 3 or 4 massive key bits to the plot happening at once, and I just had to reread half a chapter because I was getting the names mixed up, and I'm like, that person's involved with what? I was like, oh no, it's not actually, it's this character. Might be me getting tired, but I am still enjoying it, and hopefully I shall finish this over the next couple of days, and then we'll decide, am I going to continue with this series or not? I have just finished Throne of Glass. Finally. I feel like it's taken me forever to read this book, and it actually hasn't, but I just hadn't had the time to read. But anyway, finished it. For me, 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it either. And I think I enjoyed the first 75%, and it was definitely on track to maybe be a 4 out of 5 stars. The last half dozen, maybe even 10 chapters, because the chapters are very short, they're only like maybe 5-6 pages each. I don't know, I didn't enjoy the last sort of duel. Where it's ended doesn't really give you much clue as to where it's gonna go, which is fine, but it's, you know, when you sort of you finish a book in a series and the way that it's ended, it's not necessarily a cliffhanger, but you're involved and you need to know what happened next. Here I'm a little bit like, yeah. So yes, I probably will continue the series anytime soon. In a rush to? No, I think what I'll probably do is finish the other series that I've got on the go first and then look at picking it up. But it was very different to what I've read before. She is very kick-ass. But yeah, it was fine. It was a fine read. So we're going to try and push on now and read one more book for this vlog. This vlog that I had hoped to have up weeks ago. We're going to read Cinder. I gave my other half the last few options that I had for this book to choose from, and he chose Cinder. So I divided it in hope I shall be able to finish this over the next few days. Ever hopeful. That's optimism, looking at how many pages I've allocated myself every day. Anyway, it says, a forbidden romance, a deadly plague. Earth's fate hinges on one girl. Cinder, a gifted mechanic in New Beijing, is also a cyborg. She's reviled by her stepmother and blamed for her stepsister's sudden illness. When her life becomes entwined with the handsome Prince Kai's, she finds herself at the centre of a violent struggle between the desires of an evil queen and a dangerous temptation. Cinder is caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal. Now she must uncover secrets about her mysterious past in order to protect Earth's future. This is not the fairy tale you remember, but it's one you won't forget. It sounds really good. It does, and I've heard a lot about the Lunar Chronicles. Couldn't tell you if it was positive or negative. It's just, I think, how late I've sort of joined BookTube. It's just people make reference to, oh, like when I watch bookshelf tours. I love a bookshelf tour. It's like, oh, this is my like Lunar Chronicle series that I read. I'm like, oh, I keep hearing about it, but just not. I should go back and watch old vlogs. But anyway, I'm gonna get going on this book and try and make it to my first marker by the end of today. And at that point, hopefully, well, I'll catch up with you to let you know my initial thoughts anyway. Speak soon. So I've just read the first chapter, and so far we've met Cinder, and we've met the prince, who has found out that Cinder is a mechanic and he has just dropped off a robot for repair. That's about it so far. There seems to be a little bit of drama that's about to occur, but we haven't had much detail on that yet. And vibes of Cinder maybe not getting the best time because she's a cyborg, I guess, from the locals. But again, a bit early days. But I will catch up with you when I've read some more and when I hopefully make it to my next marker. So I'm about a third of the way through Cinder now. And you know what? I'm really enjoying this. The first couple of chapters I thought, nah, I'm not going to like this. I'm not going to like this. And then it just went weird. And I love the weird. I mean, I thought it was going to follow basically the rough story of Cinderella, which maybe we'll come back to. I don't know. But with this sort of, this pandemic, with the whole cyborg opportunity, with the whole family drama, I've just been sucked into this. This is brilliant. And I'm going to bring this to my shift tonight to continue because I'm really enjoying this. So I'm halfway now through Cinder. It's a really easy, chilled YA read. However, the drama, the constant curveballs, it's just really good. I'm really, really enjoying this. And the thing is, I'm actually reading this quicker than I did the other two books because I've just found myself binging it. You know, I'm not sitting down really and reading 1 or 2 chapters. I'm reading a good half dozen at a time. And I have no idea what's going to happen. I can't predict any of this now, and I love that, because I said you just keep getting curveballs, and it's like, oh, okay, wow, brilliant. I'm just really surprised because I didn't expect to enjoy this so much. You know, the first couple of chapters I was a bit like, nah, this is not going to be for me, but it's good.
But just like the fact that he thinks, and that because he...
So I have just finished Cinder and I loved it. Definite strong 4 out of 5 stars for me. I really enjoyed this, far more than I expected to, and I mean, I've just sat and I've binged about the last 100 or so pages. I couldn't put it down. I needed to find out what happened. Although there were bits that were getting predictable towards the last few chapters, there were still additional curveballs thrown at you. I love that. And yes, this is definitely a series that I would like to continue. So if you have made it to the end of this video, please leave me an emoji of your choice. Let me know if you've read any of these series or if you've continued with them. Are they good? No spoilers, please. And wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day and you have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.